It seems as though every day a new celebrity is dragged into court for alleged accounts of criminal activity, and as fans or casual viewers, we have to sit back and form opinions on the proceedings of law. Of course, heavily televised court trials should be a point of concern, but it seems as though the court has its own problems to deal with. Today we'll be talking about the hotly debated topic of whatever art can be constituted as true evidence, and how that relates to the court case involving Atlanta rappers like Young Thug. First up, the arrest, Young Thug and Gunna. On the 9th of May this year, Young Thug, along with 29 other alleged accomplices, were arrested and charged with conspiracy and street gang activity, according to court records. Known as Jeffrey Lamar Williams legally, the 30-year-old rapper is accused of participating in criminal gang activity in 2018 and conspiracy back in 2013, the state's Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, or RICO Act. While searching his home, cops even found drugs and firearms. Gunna, another famous rapper, whose legal name is Sergio Kitchens, was also charged in the court indictment with conspiracy to have broken the RICO Act. The 28-year-old surrendered to cops on Wednesday and was taken to the Fulton County Jail. The indictment that both rappers are mentioned in claims that they helped found a Bloods-affiliated gang called YSL, or Young Stoner Life. As predicted, the Williams lawyer claims that his client is innocent, and they'd fight however long it took to clear his name. Now, the crux of the matter. Now that we know the rapper's history with the law and why exactly they're in this predicament, let's talk about it. Young Thug, an infamous rapper, has sung many lyrics that talk about committing crime. But does that mean that he has, in fact, actually committed those crimes? If we were to believe every single lyric that a rapper sang about, most of them would need to be in jail. Rap is a music genre that deals with fairly intense subject matter, and if we started holding artists accountable for the art they created and any similarities to reality the piece of art may reflect, where would it stop? On May 25th, Hypebeast released an article talking about how Young Thug's song lyrics might be used in his ongoing indictment, where he, along with 29 others, have been charged with conspiracy and violation of the RICO Act. The article also revealed that the rapper has been denied bond and was waiting an honest-to-God trial. So what's going to happen? Well, apparently, the court was to cite the rapper's songs and lyrics released between 2016 and 2021 as evidence against him. The tracks these lyrics or evidences will be pulled from are Take It to Trial, a bit on the nose that one, Ality, Anybody, and Ski. The prosecution of the trial believes that the use of these lyrics in the courtroom will help protect, enhance, and presents the reputation of YSL Records, which was conveniently founded by Young Thug in 2016. One of the lyrics even admits to murder, as it goes, "I killed his man in front of his mama, like F lil bruh, sister and his cousin, I'll shoot out, kill him, not leaving a trace." However, there are some who believe that the distinction between art and evidence is strong and very present, and it's more important now than ever to legally set those boundaries. Now, art or evidence, the true debate. As we mentioned, some lawyers criticized the Fulton County District Attorney's Office because they consider the use of lyrics an overreach. Attorney Manny Aurora had a lot to say on this particular topic, as he talked about how saying that the law is using the lyrics that a rapper's using basically puts everyone that raps out of business. To elaborate, what he meant was that if we and the legal court system started taking every rapper's lyrics as full-fledged facts and admissions of guilt, then practically everyone who raps would either be in jail or out of the industry. He exemplified his point by talking about Johnny Cash. Under this new logic, Johnny Cash has supposedly murdered a bunch of people in cold blood because his music talks about that particular subject matter. Aurora's words should definitely amount to something, since he's prosecuted suspects on the state's behalf and defended them too. He was the former Fulton County Assistant District Attorney and now owns his own law firm. Now the racist undertones of the strategy. His argument ties into the racist undertones of the judicial system, where the legal strategy intentionally and disproportionately targets artists of color. These artists and rappers may just be bluffing for street cred or entertainment, or even some form of catharsis when they rap about violence or crime. Holding them accountable for mere words is stereotyping everything, and it's unfortunate that that's what it's come to, Aurora said. Devin Rufus, a fellow attorney who represents suspects on the RICO Act of gang-related charges, also claimed that the strategy, in essence, is prejudicial. He claimed that since most popular rappers are young black gentlemen, especially rappers from Atlanta, it's wrong. He believes that rap, like most music, is an art form, and it should be protected constitutionally as free speech. Next, we have the response. Now, of course, the outrage is valid and understandable. If we started holding musicians accountable for crimes committed in a song, we'd have to put the likes of Taylor Swift on the stand, with her hit collaboration with the Haim sisters on No Body, No Crime. But the two situations are admittedly a bit different. Could there perhaps be a good reason to use art as evidence after all? Well, Fulton DA Fannie Willis certainly seems to think so. She claims claimed in a press conference recently that she's fully expected the onslaught of questions that approaching the case this way may bring. She maintained that her office has every right to rely on Young Thug's lyrics, since officials claim lyrics to be brazen more often than not and a part of long-term criminal pattern. Willis claimed that she believed in the First Amendment and how it was one of America's most precious rights. But she went on to say that the First Amendment certainly doesn't protect people from prosecutors using it as evidence, if it can be used as such. And in this case, she explained, they'd put it as overt predicate act in the RICO count, since that's what they believe it actually is. Now, in other related news, rappers are pushing back against the legislation that allows this. However one excuses it, using lyrics as evidence in the court of law is a fine line that, if continued long-term, promises nothing but misery. This is why big-name rappers are pushing for laws that would protect their lyrics from being used by prosecutors as evidence in the court of law. Rappers like JayZ, Meek Mill, Big Sean, and many others are fighting for laws such as this to protect both their freedom of speech and their art form that relies on hyperbole and exaggerated metaphors. If this law is passed, prosecutors like Fani Willis would have to provide clear and convincing evidence that lyrics they claim to be evidence are literal rather than figurative or fictional. Now, the process so far. Rolling Stone reported that the rap giants have included their names to a combined letter that asked lawmakers to pass the Senate Bill S-7527, which limits the admissibility of evidence of a defendant's creative artistic expression against a defendant in a criminal proceeding. This bill was first revealed in November and passed through the Senate Codes Committee into state law earlier this week. Other rappers who've diligently signed the letter protecting their rights are Fat Joe, Kelly Rowland, and Killer Mike. This bill was brought forward by Democrat Senators Brad Hoylman and Jamal Bailey and Assemblymember Catalina Cruz. It highlights the disparity between rap lyrics being used as evidence with other forms of expression. Yet again, the example of Johnny Cash is used. When he sang "Shot a Man in Reno just to watch him die," no one believed him to have actually committed the horrific act. So why is it important to rappers? Of course, it's always important that freedom of speech in an art form is protected. So JayZ's lawyer, Alex Spiro, talked to Rolling Stone, where he explained why this issue is so important to the rappers. He claimed that JayZ, Sean Carter, and all the other artists have come together to bring about this change that has been a long time coming. He says that JayZ, who's originally from New York, is lending his name and his weight to the cause he believes in because he can. Spiro actually co-wrote the letter that all these rappers signed with Eric Nielsen, a professor from the University of Richmond. Nielsen actually co-wrote a book in 2019 titled Rap on Trial, which legitimately explored the concerning use of rap lyrics as criminal evidence to convict and incarcerate young men of color. And that's all for this video. What do you think of lyrics being used as actual evidence in the court of law? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed watching the video, be sure to leave a like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications by pressing the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.